when I talk about friendship, we all know that friendship is a really big part that we have towards our lives, that impacts our lives in one way or the other, our success, our happiness, our health. Friendship is something that we normally ignore, but it does a lot towards our success. The power of influence is really a big power that no one should ever actually try to say, this doesn't matter. We've all been around friends where they tell you, you're around this person, like, this is your friend. Like, yeah, it's just my friend. It's just for meantime. I'm just trying to give them company. And in the long run, you actually don't know that so-called friend is affecting you one way or the other. So someone having a power of influence on you, it takes time. You may not see the results today. You may be staying with someone, maybe they like, let's say, going to church, and you perhaps don't like going to church, but once in a while, you start listening to the gospel music they're playing in the background, you start listening to maybe the sermons, and you find out you're like, by the way, I think I should go to your church. I should go and try out your church and I see what is happening. So if you're staying, that is if you're with someone who goes to church. So imagine if you're with someone who goes to the bar. Still the same thing may happen with time. It may not be that day that you'll be like, okay, let's go to the bar. No, it may be that one day like, let me just go and see what happens to these people, because what is surrounding you is very, very important. With time, you get absorbed into it, and before you know it, one way or the other, you will be in action, whether you want it or not. So the beginning of friendship, it should be having some certain things to make our friendship run, and that is a lot that has to deal with positivity. So we have friends, and we have different friends. I don't know if you reflect and you see through your friends. Whom do you see exactly? Like, if we're to reflect right now on the friends you're having, do you have friends who motivate you? Do you have friends who nourish you? You have friends who inspire you? You have friends who always tell you what is true or who are honest with you, who want you to go ahead, who want you to achieve more? Or you have friends who always criticize you? You have friends who always let you down? You have friends who always see negative things about you, like who don't see any positive thing about you, who think you're not worthy? I don't know your friends. That is so true. I don't know your friends, but I know you know them very well. And you need positivity. We're supposed to have friends who can reward us. We're supposed to have friends who can make us feel good. We're supposed to have friends who make us smile, who make us laugh. If I have a long day and I call Grace, I'm like, Grace, you know what? I had a long day, and this and this and this happened. I have someone whom I can lean on without being judged. You know, like if I've been going through a tough time, I can tell someone my secrets, and I know maybe my secrets are safe. So today we're going to go through the life cycles. That is part of our lifestyle. Like I've said, this is social science, where we are human beings. Like we can't run away from being social. It's part of us. It's part of the system. So we have to deal with people. Wherever you go, you have to deal with people. Let it be work. Let it be your relationship. Let it be your friends. Let it be your children. Let it be your workmates. Wherever you're going, at least one-on-one, you're supposed to be interacting with people. So how have you been doing it? How have you been saying, by the way, I think this is my friend, or I think this person is I'm not sure that they are my friends. What have you been using to determine whether this person is your friend or this person is not your friend? So like I told you, the part one that we need of the friends, it's friends who motivate you, who gives you more of inspiration, who gives you that energy, the positive vibe. Because at the end of the day, social science says, once you've had one negative thing maybe going through your mind, let's say you've doubted yourself, or you have fear of something, darling, you need 5 positive interactions. So when I say you need 5 positive interactions, here I'm meaning you're supposed to interact with 5 people or one person who can give you the positive interactions that you need. And those 5 positive interactions, they actually come from the people surrounding you. So just imagine you're around the negative vibe people or friends, that every person you tell about whatever it was, they're like, oh, by the way, I think you're the problem. I think you're the one who's having a problem. Just imagine all people that you're thinking they may say something positive, or they may give you a word of encouragement. Let's say you failed maybe an interview and things didn't go right, and everyone is like, by the way, we don't think you're so good to be passing the interview. Just imagine that scenario, that you're having that surrounding of people. So there's no way you can find a positive bit of moving on, when you're supposed to move on, not because you don't want to, but because part of it, like we've said, we are human beings. We're supposed to be beings, like human beings, not more of doings. So to have a healthy relationship or friendship, one of the things that you really need at your fingertips, it's just the deepest of joy, the deepest of reward, and those things come in when you have friends. I'm not saying that we don't have the ups and downs, but at least you should have a friend who can actually motivate you, or can tell you something that can encourage you to get back on your knees if you're failing to get back, or if you're struggling to get back. Another requirement that we need is consistency. Like, do you have friends who are consistent? Like, do you have friends that you can say today that by the way, I'm having an emergency, or I'm having something that I'm going through, and there are people I can rely on? Do you have those names that you can mention right now? I want, when we're just talking about this, I just want you to do more of reflection. I may not be saying exactly, or I may not be knowing exactly the friends you're having, but I'm sure if I point, you're like, I think I have Grace here. I think there is this kind of a person. Because at the end of the day, once we're discussing this, there's something I want you to know. There's something I want you to put at the tip of your mind, that we have friends, but we're all different, and that's what makes us special. You can't have everything in one person. That's why when we say that maybe about relationships, you find an imperfect person and you become perfect together. You're imperfect, the person is imperfect, but in the long run you become perfect together. So in the process of even friendship, it's the same thing. Like, someone has grown up in a different culture, they've been in a different foundation, there's some things they've been believing in, and maybe there's some things that they used to do, and there's something they can't do. So it's not that everyone is going to be exactly how I want them to be, but I just want you to see through the list of your friends and see that, okay, I have these people, maybe there are 5 people. Who is doing which part? That's why I said you're supposed to have a variety of friends. You can have a friend you can lean on when you're so down. You can have a friend that you know that, oh no, when we enter, this is fun. Like, every time I see maybe Grace's call, I know this is fun time. Maybe she wants us to go out, maybe. So if I have a priority thing that I'm supposed to be doing, maybe I know that this is not the time to be dealing with Grace, because I have some immediate, urgent assignment that I'm supposed to be doing. So if I go out with Grace, what is going to happen? When will I do my assignment? I've talked about consistency. Consistency is another point that you need, that not every time I'm think about Maria, I'm like, who are you? Like, that is someone whom I can't rely on. Like, that is a friend I can't rely on. It's like being in her life, it's someone I can trust, and friendship is based on trust. So when I'm not trusting someone, it's as if I feel like actually I'm walking on the eggshells. Like, you're walking on the eggshells of someone's life. Like, you don't know what is going to be the response of this person. Just in a minute, they may change their mind. There's some people you can't rely on if you have an emergency. There's some people you can't rely on. Like, they're not consistent. Just imagine we met today, we laughed, we did everything, like how we met Maria for the first time, and boom, that is the end of us. Like, we never talk again. So do you think really that is friendship? Friendship, it grows with time. It involves more of time, it involves more of availability. We all know that our friendship grows with time. We trust more when we have enough time to know that, by the way, I think I can rely on Maria, or I think I can rely on Grace. It takes some time. And the third one that is really that second one is also a healthy relationship thing. It's a healthy friendship thing. What I'm saying right now should be in line with actually even relationship, because some people have taken their friendship on another level. Only that for friendship, you don't have time where you say, okay guys, let's go and say our vows in church. Like, we are friends today and forever and ever, through thick and thick, thin and thick, we'll be there. We don't do vows. We don't exchange vows for friendship. But it's something that is very, very important. I've seen some people, I've actually read some book where even people go ahead, if they have an issue, they go for therapy, they go for counseling, and they are friends. Like, that's how some people don't want to take friendship for granted. Just because it's friendship and it doesn't have any zone, or it doesn't have anything in line, people take it on another level. They don't want to lose their friendship, so they will do whatever it takes to get some